Hey everyone, I've missed you. I'm sorry I've been away. Basically, in a nutshell, yoga teacher training kicked my ass. And not just on a physical level. Let me tell you the amount of psychological determination I needed to have to get through that process. And at the time of recording, I still have 1 weekend to go. Holy hell. It's been hard. Plus, the holidays are here, and it's a weird time in my family. I am trying to heal family trauma. If any of you have seen Encanto, first of all, if you haven't, please see it. But if you have, I am mirrorbelling the family, and it is, look, I come from, things are complicated around here. On top of that, I have had to face a lot of my demons that I didn't realize I still had. I thought I went over the ego death, but turns out ego death can come at any time, and it will continue to come at any time. What is ego death? Ego death. Well, in this particular instance, in my yoga teacher training, I was losing Anya. What do I mean by that? Anya is my magical name. It's my spiritual name. Anya is my fresh start, if that makes sense. I was losing her. I don't want to say this character, because really Anya is just half of my name. That's all it is. It's a nickname I always wanted, but never had. No one ever quite allowed me to have that nickname. I tried to get it many times. I could never have it. And so in yoga teacher training, right, popping up as Anya, I also used my mundane name prior to the yoga teacher training. So the studio knew me as my legal name, which is fine. But it was this weird dynamic because I was losing my magic. I was dealing with so much imposter syndrome. I mean, we are talking about taking a class. I mean, people who want to do yoga teacher training are fit as hell. I'm the chubby one in the group. Look, I've lost 150 pounds, but I will always have that like chubby girl syndrome. My body is not, without surgery, and it's fine, it's not going to snap back into shape. And that's something I've just had to accept and not determine and not allow my self-worth to be based upon. And you know what? I was doing that, comparing every damn part of myself to these women who are only there to support and uplift me as I am with them. It took me a long time to come out of my shell. And not even so much that, but one thing I really realized in yoga teacher training is I still have a lot of healing to do, and that's okay. If you haven't checked, or if you're not subscribed to my blog, I should say, I made a post a few weeks ago called Healing Through Landmines. I'll go ahead and link it. That's kind of been life these days, though. On top of dealing with this intense transformation, something that really I know I can only do alone, life's been hard, and I just kind of went to a place. I lost a little bit of, I don't want to say hope for a bit, but I needed to reprioritize myself, my emotions, my well-being, and finding that really sweet spot of rest, but also pushing myself. And I found that I was leaning more towards rest because I was getting overwhelmed. But yoga teacher training, because of all the damn yoga we have to do, shocking, I know, right? Really pushed me to remind myself why I am the quote-unquote yoga witch. It's because yoga is such a part of my practice. It's such a part of my magic. And that is something I am bringing to this channel slowly but surely. But oh my gosh, you guys. On top of that, my grandpa, I don't even want to say it, but he hasn't been doing well for these past 2 years, and stuff's been resurfacing with him. He's 97. I just want him to thrive and be comfortable. But you know what, too? I want to talk about that for a minute. I visited that man in the hospital last week. He wasn't there entirely, or so I thought. It seemed like he was, finally, that's the right word to use, but right, that's life fading away. But instead, and I don't know what to do. I was sitting there with him like, oh my gosh, it was just me. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to just leave him. That doesn't seem right. But he's like fading, not in and out of consciousness per se, but hasn't been getting a lot of sleep. He's on forced oxygen and struggling with pneumonia, blah, blah, blah. But I just kind of sat there and I said, you know what? He can't understand me really. He has bad hearing as well. Plus he wasn't quite in that consciousness to have a conversation. But you know what I did? I just sat there, gave him good energy, and honestly, I don't know. Y'all are witches, you understand. There was a point where I feel like we were just having a conversation telepathically, and it was kind of like, I wanted him to know that the family's going to be okay. Because right now the family isn't quite okay. It's a bit of a mess. We got a little broken on both sides of the family, and things just aren't where it is. My family magic, again, very much like Encanto, that candle is fading. And I say all of this, bear with me, this is not a depressing thing. I was telling him, like, hey, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna do my part to figure it out, because I don't want this. I don't want, like, this family dynamic, this ugliness to be our legacy. My grandfather and my grandmother, they are badass individuals. They came here in their early 20s, post-World War II, from Europe, living in a garage. And man, talk about strife, talk about overcoming obstacles, talk about keep fucking going. Those two right there, pinnacles for press on and find your light. And I give all this backstory because, so I'm sitting here with him in the hospital room, holding his hand off and on. Sometimes I feel like, I was like, I don't know, I'm going to hold his hand. Never really something I did. It just seemed like the right thing to do. And then he has this moment where all of a sudden he's trying to talk to me. I can tell, or like we're kind of vibing, we're having like a nonverbal moment, if that makes sense. And then he starts laughing, and then I start laughing, and I'm just like, Murr! And he's like, Murr! And all of a sudden, this man who appears on the outside weak and frail and fading he squeezes my hand back and sends me this huge jolt of energy. I don't quite understand it because it's never been formalized, but we are energy workers in our family. We have that in us. Him sending that to me, first of all, was just the most beautiful thing, because it's like, keep going. Some people could say this man is on his deathbed, but he's not. Keep going. Keep staying in the light. Keep pushing forward. It was, it was amazing. It was just, it was a lesson. You know, if you saw my previous video on ancestral magic, more so my Samhain message, the message was keep going, you know, don't let your mental health disturb you, take over you, right? And just this beam of and surge of light energy that I was able to receive in that moment from my grandpa, just by staying in my light, even though I'm not, but him recognizing that and realizing that, oh, it was such a beautiful moment. And so with that, I was able to enter this last week's session of yoga teacher training a completely different person, I feel like. Post-divorce, right, it's been about 1.5 years almost, post losing my dog, post giving up my business, my just on the peak of real fiscal success business, giving up all these things, right, and then being left with this crumbled family as all I have to kind of look forward to has been tough. And the whole damn time, from multiple people, be playful, have fun. F off. I don't want to have fun. I want to be miserable. Right? But just like that, I allowed myself to stay back in my light. I allowed myself to be Anya. It is who I am. It is not my alter ego. It is my other half. I am both dark and light. Anya is light. And I don't know. All I'm saying is, and this is kind of hard to admit, but every weekend I would go to that yoga teacher training and just being like, I don't belong here. Oh my God, I am such a loser. Why isn't anyone like sitting next to me? Blah, 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 blah. Just hard on myself. But for whatever reason, this weekend was magic. I feel like I was finally able to flow again. Ironic for someone who teaches yoga now. But I was able to just be myself, uninhibited. Who cares if I got this giant ass gut or whatever the hell, you know, who cares? Maybe, you know what? Yeah, I probably am like dyslexic or something, and maybe I will forever stutter on my words and like say, place your hand on your palm. See, look, I did it again. Place your hand on your mat when I mean to say place your foot on your mat. I don't know, words, confusing. Who cares? I know who I am. I can be pretty fun at times if I allow myself to be. Hearing the words of this video echo in my mind is like, oh, this just sounds so egotistical. But this is what I'm going through right now. This is my journey, and I want to share my light. I want to share my dark. I want to share it all with you all. That's what it is. When we build a community, that is what it's about. And it's okay to have shocking confidence. Ironically, the one word that has forever been my crux. Anya, you know, needs confidence, right? It is weird because a lot of people who would say otherwise, but honestly, I am deeply insecure, but I'm working on that. Anyways, this was much of a ramble. This really just gave me an excuse to post a video and let me know that I'm here. I'm doing better than ever. Midway through yoga teacher training, I quit taking my antidepressants. I have been mending relationships, and that's a whole different video, but that is tumultuous. Mending doesn't mean, okay, I'm healed and I'm going to show up and now everything's gonna be okay because I'm healed. The person I was trying to heal a relationship with, we were doing good and everything was good, building that momentum, and then pew, broke. And it was devastating. But back to my ancestral magic, back to that moment with my grandpa. It's really true. Be the energy. Be the energy you want to attract. If you want a life of love and magic and happiness, then you better be that in every aspect that you can, through dark, through light. Life has been challenging. Yoga teacher training brought so much to the surface, to the point where I thought I was gonna quit. I really did. I said, screw it. But here I am, you guys. And I say this in hopes that wherever your story is, wherever you are in your journey, that healing really isn't linear. Just when you think you finally reached that delicious fruit of healedness, you fall back way further than you've ever fallen before. And that's okay. As long as you keep striving, keep reaching, and keep going, that's your magic. All right, I am gonna end it here for now. If you enjoyed this rambling, please drop a comment. I know I say that a lot, but it helps. It really helps. This video, not so much, but some of these videos, especially in the recent months, no joke, take me like 3 to 5 hours minimum to make, because I'm in the learning process, and yeah, so it helps the algorithm so much, even if, you just kind of make it a habit of just playing, my video in the background once in a while, or just dropping a like and letting that video roll, even if you don't have time to watch it. Sharing my content with other people really, really helps. In the new year, I have some exciting news, but that's for later. And there's just so much to come. I'm hoping to get some Yule videos out since we are in the month of December. I'm gonna get that witchy yoga flow soon. Just trying to get through this last week, and I'm trying to be gentle with myself because it is a lot of work to do this. But once I'm out of the grit of that yoga teacher training, oh baby, 2024 is gonna be an epic time for yoga, magic, and witchcraft. That's all I'm saying. So on that note, thank you guys. I love you all. Oh, look at that, my timer. Okay. So much love and gratitude to you all on this journey of healing.